hypertext markup language is at the foundation of every web page. HTML is made up of tags. Generally, tags follow this basic format, whether it's a paragraph heading or link. When displaying the web page, it takes the tag, for example H1, the largest heading, and displaying it. Same goes for all the tags. But this default font is kind of annoying, so that's why we have CSS, which when implemented with the addition of a single tag in the head, automatically assigns these details to each element. Hence, cascading style sheet. The CSS cascades down to the HTML, assigning details to it, just not by editing the HTML, but by controlling the elements it creates on a higher level. If you think that the syntax of CSS is kind of clunky, then you're in luck, because we now have a version of CSS based on the syntax of Ruby and Dart called Syntactically Awesome Style Sheets. In fact, they made two versions. The second version, SCSS, is a different syntactically awesome style sheet. These were also the inspiration for leaner style sheets, but since they all compile back to CSS, it doesn't really matter which one you choose. What if you want things on your screen to move? Then use JavaScript, which allows you to work with a canvas and draw things on it. Now, since the canvas is an HTML element, I'm going to consider JS above HTML, but it's okay if you want to view this differently. Now, next up is PHP. Now, PHP is different in that most of these programming languages were client-side. However, PHP is a server-side programming language. When the page is first loaded, the client sends a request to the server, downloads the associated files. Client-side programs just run in the browser. However, PHP is server-side, and it can send messages to and from the server without reloading the page. PHP can also affect what the page looks like for other clients. This is how most online games are run. However, most of them don't use PHP. This one, for example, runs off the JavaScript library Node.js. Somewhere in here. I just know it. Of course, Node isn't the only JavaScript library. There are other libraries, such as p5.js and jQuery. I would mention AJAX, but it's not a programming language, but rather a combination of JavaScript and another markup language, XML. Close cousins with JSON. Of course, if we include JSON, we also have to include CSV, and maybe TXT for good measure. And if we want to talk historically, we might include plain old Java, which was actually originally going to be used for the web until JavaScript came along, somewhat unfortunately named, and replaced Java on the web. The processing language also uses Java, and the P5 library is based off processing, and effectively replaced their own project, Processing.js. Of course, if we're including libraries, we also have to include their Python library, and if we keep doing this, we could expand to every single programming language ever, but why would we do that? So yeah, that's the video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and I don't really have an outro.